of your life, hosted by Toyota, is now. First, we would love to thank Toyota for your sponsorship. Thank you. The BE family is very grateful. Yes, yes, yes. Now, I would love to introduce Mylene Mayers, Divisional Information Officer and Executive for Social Innovation at Toyota Motor North America. Please welcome our sister friend, Mylene.
Of course. I appreciate it. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Wait a minute, my mic is not working because obviously y'all didn't hear me. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Oh gosh, these last few days have been exhilarating and inspiring. I'm so happy to be here on behalf of Toyota to continue the momentum of this awesome experience. Today's speaker will keep that excitement going as she encourages us to tap, tap, tap into our gift, own our own stage, and maximize our potential. What's more, the timing for this event and the participation of our dynamic speaker is ideal. We just finished celebrating Black History Month, and we're now just days into Women's History Month. She, like each of us, are history makers. We're carrying on legacies of those who paved the way for us in order for us to sit in these seats and stand on these stages in authority. Today's speaker will help unlock the keys to ourselves, to seek limitless possibilities, and step into our future with grace and power. Now, when I say limitless possibilities, I'm talking about unlimited. No boxes, no boundaries, no limits. It also brings to light the Toyota mantra, limitless possibilities. It's those limitless possibilities that drove us to sponsor, for the 6th time, the Black Enterprise Women of Power Summit. We recognize the value of this event and the invaluable connections, strengthened networks, and knowledge attendees gain year over year. Now, on a personal note, to be here surrounded by such talent, intelligence, and beauty just refreshes my soul and fuels my passion. Together, we are creating limitless possibilities, and we are supposed to be here. Together, the history books are being written today. Give y'all a round of applause to each other. You're making history today. Toyota is so thrilled to be sharing in these moments with you as we are dedicated on a global level to diversity and inclusion as a fundamental part of everything we do, and is embedded in the Toyota Way values of acting for others and showing respect for people. I can tell you this work is more important than ever, and having representation at the highest levels is the building block for success within our organization and for every organization. At Toyota, we recognize inclusion is necessary, and a commitment to diversity is the connective tissue and a bridge to our community efforts. In fact, in 2022, Toyota achieved number 4 on Diversity Inc.'s Top Companies for Diversity, up 3 spots from the prior year. So our speaker exudes diversification in her excellent work, covering the gamut of corporate, entertainment, and emotional wellness. And just as Toyota is strong force globally, our featured guest has a presence that resonates worldwide. As the founder of The Rose Effect, a global stage consultancy helping creatives, executives, and artists of all disciplines push beyond their perceived capacity. And she has proven herself as a powerful change agent with real-world experience delivering real-world expertise and results. She has worked with such recognizable brands as Google, Amazon, Disney Channel, and Adidas, while at the same time shaping the stage and performance presence of celebrities including Grammy Award-winning Lil Nas X, and working alongside the likes of Janet Jackson, Puffy, and Justin Timberlake. Her focus is to exponentially expand the levels of presence, connectivity, and personalization for every person she encounters. She is affectionately known as the Artist Whisperer, as highlighted in Rolling Stone magazine. So let me see here. Entrepreneur, entertainer, performer, artist, developer, creator, and if that isn't enough, she is also the author of her own book, The Rose Effect, 8 Steps to Delivering the Performance of Your Life, which, compliments of Toyota, you have a copy in your registration bag. By the way, be sure to visit the Toyota Expo booth on the expo floor to meet her in person and interact one-on-one. We have a booth out there. So be prepared to learn some key strategies to apply in your personal and professional lives to build even more confidence. Get ready to feel empowered, energized, and enthused, and then bolster all that even further. So let me ask, are you ready?
Yes.
Didn't think I heard you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Black Enterprise Women of Power, are you ready? Yes. That's enough. Very good. But first, this video. Take a look. The background tells you even more.
Wherever you're occupying space, that is your stage. And so in this moment, whatever you want to do on your stage, feel free. Let's go. This is my stage. I'm going to do my own thing. Okay, don't watch me. What are you doing on your stage?
Work it, make it, do it, makes us smaller, better, faster, stronger. More than power.
The Rose Effect. 8 steps to delivering the performance of your life. Written by, narrated by Kiana KJ Rose Henson. To find a way for this to be a win-win exchange for us both. This can only happen with a healthy attitude and a mission to deliver every request with excellence.
If I was a rapper, Kiana would be my hype man. She doesn't know who's posting this. Go Nazareth. But if you're an entertainer, you're in the music industry, you're trying to get into whatever, or you're just a normal person, it's a great book.
Oh, give it up. Wasn't that great? All right, then. Let's please rise and stand up. Stand up and join me in welcoming our very own hype coach, the wonderful Kiana KJ Rose Henson.
On stage rocking, I'm still crazy. Coco flow like 1980s. Come lit, still I drop lazy. None of that maybe. Energy, energy, energy.
Just vibe. From the 45, don't get out of line.
Come on, come on, come on.
Ooh, 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 pick a side. Only double
That's not loud enough. Let's go.
signs. Yeah.
This is our part. Come on. Wait.
I hear you just
Yes, yes. Come on. That's what I want from you today. Let's get some energy. Come on.
Be waving around, the crowd gon' move. Look around, everybody on mute. Look around, it's me and my group. Big energy.
He was on stop mode, got froze from page road, no pause.
Come on this side. What you got?
That's that Kodak energy, energy,
All right, come on.
energy,
I don't think they got you. Let's go.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
You know that we do it grinding. You know that I'm gon' be it.
Yes.
Camera go pop, 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 pop. Keep 'em waiting like that, that,
A
that,
minute.
that, that, that. Ooh, la, la, la.
How's everybody doing? Thank you, Jared.
Black, black, black. Then now Uzi that doozy.
You gonna make me do this? Breathe. Hello, everybody. Y'all came. Oh my God. Thank you. Number one, I just have to tell you that if you were here for tapping in,
tapped in, and we went viral. Did y'all know that? 124K on Black Enterprises social media. So thank you guys. Thank you for pouring into me these last 2 days. It has been exponentially fulfilling because what I do is so nuanced that I'm not always included in rooms like this. So thank you for making me feel like I belong here. So, again, my name is KJ Rose. My mama would say Kiana. Give it up for my mama, she's in the house. Yes! It is her birthday. Can you just say happy birthday, Sylvia? Mama, can you stand? Okay, come on. Come on. Happy birthday to you. Come on, you gotta stand, baby. This is what we do. Happy birthday. Okay, that's all right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Oh, she told me to end it. Y'all, this is the first time my mom has actually seen me, well, on Thursday in action. And so this morning we were praying. She was like, thank you, Lord, for helping me finally understand what my daughter does. So I'm already winning, y'all. The rest of this is just bonus. Okay. Mom named me Kiana, KJ Rose Henson. And today I am your personal hype coach, your human solid rocket booster. Now, that is a propellant motor used to provide thrust in a spacecraft that launches from the initial launch through the first ascent. Solid rocket boosters are required to get the vehicle in orbit. I propel the shuttle, and once you're in flight, I break away. So are you guys ready to be propelled and thrusted? All right, so we've already tapped in to our core, to our strength. We've already declared that we are all artists, right? Because artists are producers and creators. Artists can never, their skill set can never be duplicated. So how many artists do we have in the house again? Thank you. All right, so how are you feeling? I want to just tap in with you. Okay, so it's funny, on Thursday, a friend of mine, I asked her, Michelle Blake, I said, how are you doing? And she said, I'm feeling. And we both paused because I was waiting for something on the other end. And she was like, I was like, okay. And she was like, yeah, I think I'm blessed to be present enough to feel. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna put that in my speech. And so to be counted amongst 1,800 humans is a victory for me. So it feels like I need to share with you my story so you understand my why, where I came from, south side of Chicago. Sang in the choir. I was great with groups and chorales. Sang in the choir, was on the cheerleading team. Now, my mother would never admit to this, but she was my very first hype coach because she was a cheerleading coach. So every time someone's like, are you responsible for this? She's like, no, I have nothing to do with this. But she was my hype coach. I watched her, and I started on the cheerleading team when I was 5. I mean, it's you. And so even being in the choir, I never wanted to be called out, never wanted to be singled out. If you looked my way, I am gone, because the stage fright would not allow me to even be present for a solo. Like, my body would have an adverse reaction to performing or speaking. So I just want you to understand that what you see before you now is repetition and faith and tenacity, because I wasn't born with it, but I was built for it. And I am just blessed. So went to FAMU. And so went there, business administration major, and after I got my degree, now it's funny because while at school, the Deltas, my sorors, loved me enough. Hello. And they were like, we need a singer for this event. I was like, cool, let me get you one. They were like, nope, this is gonna be you. And so, you know, accountability is real. And so I was like, huh. And I would do it, but I would still be uncomfortable doing it. And I remember I had to be in this pageant. I wanted to be in this pageant. And I was so nervous that you had to do like this dance move, and you got in place and you struck a pose. But when I got in place, I fainted. I know. And so I was like, I'm not built for this. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I was like, okay, this is temporary. So I moved to New York to work. I had many jobs. I worked for Pfizer Pharmaceuticals in executive compensation. I know. By day. By lunch, sleep in the bathroom. By evening, I was singing at any open mic that I could, even though I had not gotten there, even though I still had this adverse reaction. I knew that this was what I was supposed to be doing. And I said, a lot of times we discount things because we're not born the way we think we should be. But what if that skill just takes some developing? And so I was like, okay, it's repetition for me. And I would go to these shows and people would just like look like it was top of the dome. And I was like, oh my God, these ad libs are being rehearsed. Everything that we think they're just doing off the cuff is like they're rehearsing. So I was like, let me get in front of the mirror. Like, I just wanted to sing my song and be gone. I didn't want to talk to you. I just wanted to go to the next song. But I started actually putting my remarks in order so that I can really be able to deliver beyond just vocals, but be present and emote. And so I was like, I got a good idea. Maybe I should get on the Apollo. Maybe that'll just break all of these nerves that I feel. So I'm not sure what I was thinking, but went on the Apollo. Anita Baker is one of my favorite artists. So the first time I was like, I sang an Anita Baker song. I won. I was like, oh, we doing this. Oh, yeah. And then the second time, so they bring back all the all-stars, and anybody who had won in the past, they want you to all just fight it out. And so I had already felt this familiar feeling of winning. So sometimes you got to collect wins. You got to put the wins in the bag so you have something to access. It doesn't feel so foreign. And so I was like, I got this. So I was like, I drink my water, but I won't be neglected and I won't be denied the pleasure of your kisses, the pleasure of your smile. I think you take for granted that I'll always be here just because I love you. It doesn't mean I won't disappear. Been so long. I'm missing you, baby. Been so long. All right, yeah, so I did that. And so then they bring everybody out so that they can, tap heads and get the most applause and who was the best. So I was like 7th in line. And there was this girl, she was like 8th. And she had brought a busload from Maryland. But I never got that memo, right? So there were some people that almost got kicked out by the Sandman, right? But they still got like these obligatory applause, like, oh, no, okay. But when they got to me, there was a resounding booing. And even though I knew why, they must have thought I was her only competition. It still did not feel good. Someone that was still battling stage fright, someone that was still unsure if this is the journey I'm supposed to be on, to be booed. But in that moment, I remember the guy from Full Force, that's my guy, I can remember. He said, because he was one of the hosts, and he was like, yo, don't ever give up. This is just, a show. I want you to keep going. But inside, I was dying. But I was smiling for the other girl. Oh, look at you. Oh, my God, I can't believe. Crumbling. But it's in that moment that I made a declaration that I will not leave my destiny, the victory of my dreams, in the hands of anybody that is not previewed to everything that God has given me. Like, why would I make a decision based on that? Is very limiting. And so from there, I started doing background. And so I got a call from, and here's the other thing. Most times people are not looking for me, but sometimes they don't know what they don't know. And so I got the call to perform with Heavy D. Before I even knew it was Heavy D, it was like 11 o'clock. I was in Brooklyn. They said, can you come to the studio? And I realized one of my superpowers was showing up. You might be able to sing me under the table, but you ain't gonna outwork me, right? I'll always show up. Persistence was my thing. Relentlessness was my thing. Tenacity was my thing. And so when I showed up and I sang, and I didn't even know it was gonna be heavy, And so I sang this song called Big Daddy, Haunt Your Body. Yeah, I can't say the rest. But anyway, you got it. And so it ended up being the single, which they had no idea it would be the single. And so showing up, I knew that the win was on the other side of me being present. And after that, I moved on to sing background for Big. I sang a song called Player Hater on Life After Death. And then I just started singing background for all the rappers before Drake and Lil Wayne thought it was best for them to sing their own background singers. And so I think that, that was me still hiding. So another chance or divine encounter was with Kelly Price. I had gone to the studio. I was like at Macy's on 34th, but I lived in Brooklyn, and this was on 57th, and I was like, it just don't make sense. It's like 8 o'clock. But I was like, hey, keep showing up. I walk in, and Kelly and I just have this tremendous conversation. She calls me next week. Didn't even hear me sing, but the following week said, do you want to go on tour with Puff? And I remember calling my mom. It's so good that you're here. You can hear all this. And I was like, hey, so it looks like I have been asked. At the time, I'm working for Pfizer still. I have been asked to go on tour with Puff. And silence. And she was like, so what you going to do with your stock options? And, the 401k. And, it sounds like you're not calling to ask me. It sounds like you're calling to tell me. And I split the difference. And I said, I'm calling to just let you know. Good. So I go on tour with Puff. It's great, but I'm not confident enough to believe that this is going to be my trajectory. I'm like, whoo, I'm safe. I still got my job. Now, I took a leave of absence from Pfizer. I hope nobody's in here, but that was a long time ago. Took a leave of absence from Pfizer. I told them I had to handle some family business, but I never said Puff Daddy and the family. So I ended up coming back to the job. I worked another 2 years, but I felt like I wasn't giving 100% to any one thing. I wanted to see these grand results, but I was giving 50%. They wanted to move me up at the job. I was good. I wanted to see more in terms of my career, but I could not see any results because I was splitting the focus. And finally, I took a leap of faith, and I was like, okay, I'm going to give my 2-week notice period. And during that time, I got a call to go overseas with Puff, and I felt like that was meant to see if I could bet on myself, right? I'm asking everybody else to approve that this is what I should be doing. But I didn't approve myself. And once I did that, that's when the offers started coming in. And so went overseas with Puff. After that, I went out with Carl Thomas. I was 10. Anybody see that? 10. And then from there, went on the road. I stalked Britney Spears people. And again, nobody, now this is when we were doing I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman. I know. Anyway, so stalked her people. Again, I missed the auditions, but I was like, I'm supposed to do a tour. I'm supposed to do a pop tour. And so I remember calling the music director. Somehow got his information. I was like, hey, just wanted to check in. Did you find what you were looking for? And he was like, nope, but we're in Miami now doing auditions. I'll hit you back. I was like, cool. 2 days later, hey, I was about to get on the train. I wanted to see if you were going to call me. No, we were not going to call you. Cool. That's good. I'm not going to take it personal. You don't know me yet. What is there to take personal? And so kept doing this. Like every 2 days, it became like a cycle. Like, hey. And sometimes I would just sing it. Hey, yeah. And then finally, he called me and he said, look, I have never given anybody a job like this over the phone, but between your personality and your persistence, it is yours. So that started the trajectory as a background singer. I said, you can clap. And so, how am I doing on time? Okay, good. So ended up from Britney Spears to Justin Timberlake to Janet Jackson, and it was lovely. But then I realized, and I had to take an assessment, as grand as this is, am I still hiding, right? Because sometimes you can stay in a place a little too long. And so your choices and the decisions you make are made out of lack and made out of being insufficient, as opposed to knowing that the fullness of what you have can actually move you to your next assignment. And so finally, but the thing is, nobody pays you to work on your own album. I really wanted to sing in my own album, but in the back is great because, nobody sees me and I can be like, But in the front, everybody's judging. I cared so much what everybody thought. When I would sing, I would spend the first 10 minutes trying to impress, trying to figure out what you were looking at. Did I look at it too? And then I realized the same people that never made any expressions while I was singing, and afterwards, it would be the same people that would say, you were amazing. And I was like, but you ain't even smile. But I realized everybody processes differently, right? And the more that I can get in and I know what it looks like and I know what it feels like, I can concentrate on being present. I hate losing twice. The thought of losing because I never gave myself a chance, and then the thought of losing because I was never present for the audience. And so that kind of gave me a little bit more fuel and momentum to keep it going. So then I had several jobs after that. I moved on. I put my own record out at the time, but I was working at Sundance TV in the original programming. That was great. And then I went on. I worked for Clive Davis at J Records, but I never told him that I sang because I just felt like it was kind of trite. And I thought, well, maybe one day he'll just walk past the kitchen and just hear me. But it just never happened. And so when I did tell him I was leaving, it was to go on tour with Janet Jackson again. And so I felt like that was so much sweeter. I thought it was so trite to have an assistant that sings too. But I just thought that, again, I'd be making some tea or something and he would hear me. But that propelled me out of boxing myself in. And I moved on. And I started, while I was there, people would ask me to help them with the stage presence of some of the artists that were there. And I had to make a decision because I said, am I becoming a performance, back then it was performance coach, am I doing this in lieu of something else not working? Because then you're just a bitter coach. You'd be like, I would do it like this if I was you. And so I had to resolve that, right? I had to resolve that maybe this is the natural progression from what I'm doing. Maybe it's not this or this, but this and the next thing. And so that just gave me what I needed to continue to make that pivot, but also know that it became the thing that helps me speak the language to the artists that I work with, to be able to say that I've toured, to be able to say that, I have been in the booth. I know what it feels like to be in front of thousands. And so that really gave me everything I needed to move forward. So I kept singing. And before I knew it, I had put out my own record and toured on that. And then I was like, okay, I'm good. So as a performance director, I started my business called The Rose Effect. And I started working with emerging artists. Moved to LA, just went for a month just to see if that's where I was meant to be. Because sometimes the activity becomes what we deem to be progress versus actual productivity. You know what I mean? I'm like, I went to 10 parties, 10 things, 20 meetings. But I'm like, but what part of that added to the tank, right? And I didn't feel like I was working smart. So I had to make a decision, left New York, moved to LA. And so I understood that I was on a mission, which brings me to the mission that we're on today. And I'm going to take you to the slides because now that you know all about me, right? Now I want to give you the fuel so that you walk out of here better than you came in, that you tap into everything that you were meant to be, and that we just my job is never to give you anything that you don't already possess. My job is to irritate and agitate areas that just may have merely been lying dormant. That's all I'm here to do. I'm here to shake it up. I'm here to reintroduce you to yourself. That's really just it. And so we're going to start. A scholar identified that there is a 4-stage model of the creative and performance process, which is preparation, incubation, illumination, and verification. So I want to put it through the Rose Effect filter because it's time that we fully activate your stage. Wherever you occupy the most space, that is your stage. You are an artist. So I want to give you landing gear. All right, number 1, the preparation. I can't see over there. Preparation is the process of making something ready for use or service. It is how you show up. I always talk about your story because nobody can tell it like you. And if they can, they have hijacked it. You are the only messenger that we have. You are the only one to give the external expression more credence so that the internal narrative is as truthful as it can be. What we see, the external expression is, or to be, is merely the reflection of what you think about yourself. So I want you to think about your story. If you were to give your story a movie title, what would that be? 2 seconds, think about it, and then whoever wants to share what the title of their life would be, what it embodies, and what are you saying? We only got 2 seconds, so think about it. Anybody want to share? You can just, yes. Pfizer? Fighter. Boom. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? Yes. The overcoming fighter. Thank you. Yes. Wake up and decide to be happy. Yes. Never too late. What? Sorry. It's never too late. Yes. Unapologetically fabulous. Yes. Come on. I want to say it right. From the streets to the salsa beach. Beat. Salsa beat. I got it. You got it. Yes. Unveiling. Thank you. Pushing through adversity. Thank you. I think we have one more over there. Yes. Not all who wonder are lost. Come on, y'all so ready to do. Anybody else on that side? Yes. Transformation and flow. When you understand your story, yes. Whoa! Underrated by design. Yes, sir. You, it's a life what? It's not, he said, it's not a game. It's a lifestyle. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. Anybody else? Okay, let's move on to the incubation. The process of evolving, maturing, developing, and advancing. The process of evolving, maturing, developing, and advancing. It's time to embrace your force. I realized later in life that my force was energy. That it couldn't be contained, that I've got several chambers that I can activate at any time. And when people, it's funny because when people see me at parties and I just want to observe, they're like, well, what's wrong? I'm like, man, I was just trying to observe. And but I do believe that my energy is what is connected to the assignment globally that I'm supposed to be doing. And it is never compromised and it can never be negotiated. So what is that thing that you were born with, that you were built for, that even if you had to go toe to toe, you're never moving? What is that thing about you? Because your force is eventually what's going to lead you into the decisions that you make. Anybody want to share their force? When you say, why me? Why you? Why you? Yes, her business is to abide. Abide. Abiding is your force. Let's go. Who else? Yes. I got excited. Yes. Come on. Let's go. Thank you. Yes. Passion. Yes. Unequivocally. You cannot be removed from your force. I think it was someone else back there that was going to share. Yes. Amen. Pep talks and prayers. Yes. You said I think. Okay, I'm sorry. Amen. Thank you. Integrity. She's not trying to prove anything. Yes. Leadership, she understands it's a responsibility and she serves unselfishly. Thank you. Yes. Amen. Let your light shine. Anybody else? Yes. Yes. Light over darkness. Thank you. And then I'll come to you. Yes. Showing other people, I didn't see here to. Showing other people through your superpower, their superpower. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Amen. Thank you for sharing. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
I would say mine is perception, compassion, energy, and active listening.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
I say mine is self-reflection.
Self-reflection to evolve. Thank you. Yes. What? I know what I know. One of the other ways to continue to brace your force is to acknowledge and collect, go back and get, reinvigorate your wins. I think because we're constantly trying to get to the next one, we don't take the moments to celebrate ourselves. We almost feel guilty to celebrate ourselves, either because someone else did not validate that it was a win, or we feel like it's too small to celebrate. But I want you to start collecting so that when the time comes that you feel like you're a little challenged, that you can't get the energy, you can go into your winning bag and pull from it and remember what it feels like, because you can access it because it happened already, right? So get in your winning bag. Let's move to the next one. That was the increment. No. Illumination, a spiritual or intellectual enlightenment, a spiritual or intellectual enlightenment. It's about seizing your power. It's about your messaging. What are you saying to yourselves? Because what you say is what you project. Right? And are you saying it like, I'm really good at da 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 da. What's your body language like? Are you saying it like you asking me permission for or to be that? Or are you saying it with a question mark? I really am. I'm just to do that? Or are you saying it with an exclamation point? I really am here because I was designed to be here in this room and every moment counts, right? Or are you saying it as a matter of fact? I'm really here because I'm sent here to deliver a message. I want you to be aware of your statements, of your declarations. If you're still trying to believe it, don't say it to nobody else yet. I want you to get there. Your visual playback, like that's why I talk about your wins and your victories. Because even though, like there was a moment a couple of weeks ago when I felt like nobody was looking for me. Most times nobody is from a business standpoint, okay? And I hadn't it was just quiet for weeks. I remember I was on the phone with my friend Nikki crying. And she was like, okay, do you need to talk longer? I was like, no, I got to go to this party and get it together. And I realized if I really just looked at God's track record, I've always made it back, whatever that was. I didn't stay down long. And I said, well, let me just keep living my life, and I went hiking, but not the hiking where you got to put on the, boots or a stick, but just cute hiking in LA. And I got to the top, and it hit me. I was convicted. And I said, do you still see you when nobody's looking for you? When ain't nobody calling, when there are no opportunities happening, when ain't nobody inviting you to the Women of Power Summit, that is the time you strengthen your core. That is the time you spend time so that you prepare when it's time to get into position. And it was tough because nobody can help you through it. As much as friends would be like, oh, it's gonna come. I couldn't be helped through it. But when the call came, I was no longer anxious for it. And so they said, well, can you be here to help so-and-so in the next hour? And I was like, actually, I'm gonna be a little bit, because I was already doing something. And so they said, well, we'll wait. I was like, look how that works. Keep living, and they will call. And then don't be anxious. My mom read, a whole paragraph today, and because I was like getting my makeup done. Shout out to Felicia Graham for dealing with me, because I used to work for Fashion Fair, so I'll be like, I know what I'm doing too. And but she's wonderful in Jersey if you ever need a makeup artist. And so my mom was reading this, and I was so anxious to get here, just to be with you and to share with you, that I had to just start breathing and trusting that as much preparation that has already been done, I can still make sure to leave room for however I want to be inspired in that room. So it's like prepare, and then I got to back up off of it. But I really wanted to get to y'all as soon as possible. And so I have created Power Chants. It's a jolt of motivation. I think a young lady talked about the self-talk. What are you saying to yourself when nobody else is around? What is that human espresso shot that you can give yourself? I don't care if it's a one-liner. I don't care if it's a mantra. I don't care if it's one word. When you've got to walk into new territory, expanded territory, situations that you don't feel completely confident in, what are you doing? What are the words that you're saying to push yourself forward, to push beyond your perceived capacity? We'll get to a power chant a little later. And I want to move now to the verification. The process of establishing the truth, accuracy, or validity of something. Do you know that you are the yes? Do you believe that you are somebody else's solution, that we all just walk in solutions? That someone's blessing is connected to you speaking up, you delivering your passion, you delivering your dream, you delivering your declaration in a way that has an exclamation point and not a question mark? What'd I say? Yes, are you delivering the expression of your dreams? Are you delivering your overall declaration, what you embody? Are you doing it in a way that has an exclamation point or a question mark? Are you doing it in a way in which you are asking me permission to do it? Or you believe unequivocally you were already put here for it? So I now want you to talk to your neighbor. If you didn't get to know your neighbor, this is the time. Find someone that you can declare, because it's one thing to have it here and have it here, but now I want you to declare it to someone else. Either a win that you forgot to acknowledge, or a win that you had this weekend, or something you're just proud of yourself about. When was the last time you said, I am proud of you? You? I'm proud of you. We never do that because we think that it's bragging, or we're thinking that, people are going to judge it. But how can you be proud of someone else if you've not yet, and be sincere about it, if you've not acknowledged the gifts that you have that you're proud of? So take a moment. If you have not done it before, now we're doing it now. All right, take a few moments just to declare what that win was, to declare what you believe you were put here to do, to declare how you're going to get on that plane and go back to your respective homes and communities and really impact and be fueled with all the information that you got from this weekend. It's no way you can go back the same. You know too much. All right, take your time. Go. Jared, do we have a little music in the background for them? No. Not that one. Something else. Or just talk amongst yourselves.
Be waving around, the crowd gon' move. Look around, everybody.
Some of y'all are not talking to each other. You got one win. Chuck, how you doing? Yes, I do. So good to see you. I would love for you too. I'll make sure you get her information from me. Okay.
You know that we do it grande. You know that I'm gonna be extra. And the camera go pop, 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 pop. Keep 'em waiting like that. Ooh, la, la, la. That's the way them boys sound when I walk through the black. Then now Uzi that doozy. Shot.
If you don't have a partner, please come talk to me. If you don't have a partner, I'll be right here. 10 minutes. Dang it.
I'm swearing, I'm daring. You men staring.
Okay.
I just entered the country with derringers. Cause them Karens just turned into terrorists.
All right. Let's clap it up. Thank you, guys. That was good. They're like, we are not finished. All right, you can continue this right outside. They gave me 10-minute warnings. All right, so I want you to repeat after me. And I want you to talk to that same neighbor with a little bit of vigor. Thank you, Mylene, for introducing me. That was so good. All right, here we go. Look at the neighbor. I mean, you don't have to look at, I don't want you to look in the eye, but let her know that you. Here we go. You are the yes you've been waiting for. Let's go. Don't you ever forget what you came here for. And no matter what, you just make it count. Take up space with your gift. That's what it's about. Good. Jared, can I get this PowerPoint? Because I want them to see the words. Or you can just move it for me. All right, here we go. One more time, and you are the yes you've been waiting for. Ha ha. Don't you ever forget what you came here for. Ha ha ha. And no matter what, you just make it count. Take up space with your gift. That's what it's about. Yes. Why y'all add an all? Is there an all in there? Does it say that's what it's all about? Nope, somebody added an all. Okay. Good. So I think you guys are ready. This is one of my power chants, available right now on Pandora, available on Apple Music, available on Amazon Music. There are 8 of them. When you need a jolt, when you need to talk to yourself and remind yourself how dope you are, this is what you go to. All right, so I'd like you to stand. And so this is like my tribute to my HBCU FAMU. It's my tribute to marching bands, specifically marching 100s. Yes. If you did not attend an HBCU, this is your moment for indoctrination. Okay? Okay? All right. But you gotta make it count. When we move here, if you remember nothing else, I need you to remember no matter what I do, no matter what I say, I got to make it count. Right? If you're going to move, I tell my artists, we ain't moving for the sake of transportation. We're moving because we're pushing the narrative forward, and you the only messenger we got. All right? So, I'm going to share this with you. And, all right. Give me some volume. All right.
Yes, you've been waiting for.
Can we go right back? I'll go back.
What you can't.
1 second. I want you to know that you know that you know. Okay? All right. Here we go. I need some movement.
The second quarter. Third and goal from the 6-yard line.
You are the yes you've been waiting for. Don't you ever forget what you came here for. Ha ha. And no matter what, you just make it. You gotta come on. Take up space with your gift. That's what it's about. Hey, hey, you are the yes you've been waiting for. Don't you ever forget what you came here for. And no matter what, you just make it count. I see you take up space with your gift. That's what it's about. Come on, take up space with your gift. I see you. Ha, 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 ha. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Okay, so don't sit down. I just have a few more words. Right, I gotta wrap up. Okay, yes. Okay. Okay. And finally, to deliver the performance of your life, you must be acutely aware of your moments. You are the only one responsible for them. And what if you armored yourself every day with the landing gear required not to just take ownership of your moments, but to become the moment? Don't leave any moments hanging. The win is inherent in the moment. The threat of a moment is a moment, so go get it. The hint of a moment is a moment, so go claim it. You are the moment, so become it. No more wasting time. We're on a mission. Your mission is connected to the next person's mission and the next person's win. We're not wasting moments. We're not leaving any moments just hanging. And so, because I know that you cannot leave this place the way you came, anybody who would like to physically express this newfound freedom that they have may join me on stage. And if you can't join on stage, just come in the front and give your sisters support, your sisters and brothers support, all right? Now here's the thing about this stage. Let me fix my gym shoes. No, you can do whatever you want to do. Let's spread out, all right? Make sure you got space, right? This is what I'd like to call the cool down, all right? So, when I say, do you feel it? I want you to say, I feel it coming. Okay. Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Do you? Drop that beat, Jared. Come on. The outro, Jared, the outro. We're ready. All right, everybody get in your pose because it's going. Get in your pose. Remember, what is your power pose? Get into it. And when that beat breaks, I want you to know who you are in every move to count. It's all right. That's all right. You should still be thinking about it, even if it didn't play. Be thinking about where you want to go. Give yourself some landing gear. That's all right. It's the one you played earlier, that outro that you downloaded earlier. You might have to move. Everybody can come out. You can come across the stage. Tell me when you're ready. Get in your position. You can't do a liftoff without being in position. Come on, I want you to know that this freedom is yours. Anything you want, come on, I feel it coming. What? Now, we gotta make a little flow, okay. Go all the way around. Let's go. Let's go. Keep it moving down. Okay, yes. Keep it moving down. Keep it moving down. Move all the way down. Yes. Who got next? What? Everybody should get a turn. Come on. I feel it coming. You don't need nobody but you. You got everything you need. Yes. Then you can exit stage, right? Once you finish. Now, if you coming to this front, you better give him something that you ain't never gave him before. Hey, cousin. That's my cousin right there. What's up? Come on. Hey. This is your cool down. You guys can move off the stage on stairs so everybody comes around. Come on. Can you give me some more volume, Jared? Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Because you got everything that you need right now. It's already sufficient in what you got. Yes, come on, bring it home. I see you, Sarah. I see you. Bring it. Yes. I would be by your side. Yes. Yes. Oh, let it all go. Let it all go. This is all about vulnerability. Yes. This is sisterhood, everybody. We're going to turn it down a little bit. So stay with me. We can turn it down a little bit. Thank you guys so much for having me. I am here as a product of sisterhood. You guys all now belong to the Rose Effect Sisterhood. Make some noise. I am here because of the FAMU Sisterhood of Precise Communications. Alexis and Hillary, thank you. Thank you for introducing me to my new Toyota family. Make some noise. Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's been an honor to serve you. We've got to keep serving on top of serving. Loving on top of loving. Giving on top of giving. She said, out of time. Please in. All right, here we go. Make I give you all you need. Every touch you need. Give you all. Make I give you all you need, baby. Yeah. You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body.
Ladies, wasn't KJ fabulous? Let's give it up for her one more time. And I know you're all excited, but we need to transition to the next session. So please take that excitement, if you will. Either you're staying for this session or please transition out to the hallway to the next session. Thank you so much.
What is the next session?